Do you know what beliefs you have from childhood that may not be serving you? It can be a really difficult thing to figure out. I will tell you that I didn't start this process until about 7 years ago. I've been working on it ever since. And even today, I'm still able to identify things that I learned as a child, either through my parents or in the neighborhood or the school system I grew up in, that I have been carrying with me for 3 decades or more. Things that I learned in my teens, even as an 8 or 9-year-old. I've been carrying around some of these things for 30 plus years, and they affect how I make decisions today. I want to share with you guys a concept that I love. It's called Ebar. Experiences lead to beliefs. Beliefs lead to actions. Actions lead to results. So if you're looking at someone's actions and the results, but you don't really know what it is that they believe, and then you don't know what experiences they've had to create those beliefs and where those beliefs come from, you're probably not going to be able to influence them to change their behavior. You're probably also not even going to be able to understand their behavior. I want to give you guys an example. I was meeting with somebody that coaches and mentors me just earlier today, and as we were having a conversation, I said to this person, you know what, I just realized consciously, although I have probably realized this subconsciously many times before, I was taught as a little girl that basically people shouldn't let you down. People shouldn't disappoint you. If someone has disappointed you, that's bad. Like if someone really loves you and cares about you and knows you well, knows what your preferences are, your likes or your dislikes, then they're not going probably to disappoint you. And so you're not going to have to deal with that if the relationship is perfect. And I have learned in my adult life that that's not true. People will let you down. It happens. We make mistakes. We have moments of weakness or failure. We're not able to be perfect. That's not really a thing. And so somebody's able to love you and care for you and still do something that hurts you. And it may not be even about you. It might just be because they're struggling to be the person that they want to be. Or it might simply just be because they have a tough time doing whatever it is. It's not personal towards you. It's not designed to hurt you. It wasn't with you in mind. It's just, hey, I'm struggling to keep my word or tell the truth or have this conflict or do what I said or whatever it is. But people are going to let you down and disappoint you. And it's important to figure out how to forgive them. One of the other beliefs I was sharing with this coach of mine that I realized I've had since childhood is if someone were to let you down or disappoint you, they should be punished for that. There should be something taken away from them or very punitive, negative reinforcement works. And I've realized that in my adult life, I don't believe that anymore either. It's not always that, okay, you hurt me, and so I should hurt you. Hurt people. That's just what we do. If I'm hurting, you need to hurt as well. I remember being a little girl, and if I did something wrong, there had to be a consequence. There had to be a punishment. We couldn't just talk about it and say, you know what, we love you very much, and it sounds like this was a mistake, and we really want to build trust with you, and so we'd like to ask that you don't do that again and come and handle that differently next time. But instead it was, I got grounded, I wasn't allowed to use the car anymore when I got older, I couldn't go to a sleepover or see a friend that I had planned. It was, what are we going to do so Amy knows that she's done a bad thing? And all that really produced for me was a lot of guilt, oh, I did a bad thing, and then sometimes even some shame, which is more of the, I'm a bad person. So what I wanted to point out today is that becoming aware of what you were taught in childhood, what you believed in childhood, and how you operated, and how those beliefs are affecting your current day actions and results is critical. And you can't just find out what your beliefs are without really looking back and saying, where did I get those beliefs from? What experiences gave me those beliefs? And sometimes childhood is a really important place to start because it's where we got a lot of our foundational beliefs. They were instilled in us before we realized we have a choice in our beliefs. We don't have to believe the same things that our parents believe. We don't have to believe things that we were taught to believe when we were growing up. We can decide our beliefs. Most children don't know that. Children just believe what their parents believe or believe what was in the house. Or as they get a little bit older, they'll believe things from teachers or friends and whatnot. It's probably not till college or really young adulthood where we start to really form for ourselves new beliefs. But being able to say, oh, this is something that I have believed at a subconscious level. It's maybe not conscious to me. It's not something I'm actively, intentionally, deliberately thinking about, but it is something that I just feel inside, like very strongly. I want to be honest and transparent, humble, vulnerable, and admitting to you guys that the reason this came up with this coach of mine today is that I have had struggles with this when very close friends of mine or significant others of mine have let me down and disappointed me. I have struggled with, how do I react to that? How do I respond to that? What do I do when that happens? And I've started to realize, well, my historical response that I learned in childhood was to be very upset, very hurt, feel very harmed, feel betrayed, and very irritated, frustrated, and like to really struggle to work through that. Days would sometimes pass before just the amount of time going by would lessen those feelings. And I'm starting to learn as an adult that I can move through these emotions much quicker now. I have the choice to do that. I don't have to be surprised when someone disappoints or lets me down. I can say, hey, that happens sometimes. Let me find out why that happened. Let me find out what they might have been struggling with. Let me seek to understand where they were coming from. It might not have been intentional. Maybe they're going through some tough stuff. But I also don't have to feel like I need to punish them, hold them accountable, do something punitive, help them see how hurt I am, make sure that they kind of hurt too as we go through that. I don't have to feel like they should have to pay homage for hurting me. Punishment isn't always something that works. Negative reinforcement isn't always a good thing. And so figuring out what were my beliefs in childhood, what experience did I have that got me those beliefs? Do these beliefs serve me now? What do I want to believe instead? How would that help me or not? And working yourself into a new place is a very important tool if you have any situation in your life that's not going the way that you would like. And I meet with a lot of people, several clients of mine have these moments where they say, I'm having struggles with this other individual. Sometimes it's a colleague, a boss, a peer, someone at work, but a lot of times it's someone's spouse or partner at home, or a family member, a best friend, children, a parent, where they say, like, we're just not getting along and we have this conflict and we're in this argument or this fight, or we've been here before and we're back here again. Usually one of the two people has a belief from the past, or best case scenario, these people just have beliefs that are different from each other. But ultimately, you have to figure out, what are my beliefs as I'm operating in this situation? Why do I believe those things? Where does that come from? Whoever said that was how it was going to be, or it should be, or it's supposed to be? Figuring out, what were my expectations going in? Were those even realistic? Did I even consult with the other person on this before we got kind of together and started working together, living together, cohabitating together, being in a relationship together? Did we ever clarify how we would handle these kinds of situations? And usually the answer to that is no. I just assumed that they would approach it the way I did. And if they didn't, I would just tell them that they were wrong and help them see it my way. And so go back into your childhood. Be willing to go back into your past. Dig a little bit. Start to find out, well, what is it that I really believe? And then take that time to ask yourself, are these beliefs good? Do they work with me? Are they useful for me? Again, mine, people just kind of shouldn't let you down. And if they do, they should be punished. Not useful beliefs anymore. I have figured out that believing those things prevents me from handling it well when I do get let down or disappointed. And it also prevents me from being able to forgive, to love, to accept, to not hold a grudge when I'm let down and disappointed. And I've started to find new ways of behaving, reacting, responding that work much better for me and are leading to greater success. I hope you all go through this activity and identify at least one or two beliefs from your childhood that might be holding you back, that you got taught, didn't question, and have been living with, that could be replaced with something else more effective as your homework this week. Hope everyone's doing great. I'll see you guys very soon. Make a great day.